Christmas vacation. Christmas vacation.
I made the startling realization today.
Hip hip hooray.
You're
It's
gonna
Christmas Day, March time. What?
I looked it up today because I thought that Chevy Chase, Maryland, was named after Chevy Chase. Turns out Chevy Chase, Maryland was just the name of it.
Oh, you thought like the town Chevy Chase was named after him?
Yes.
No, as far as I know, he's named after it, I think.
I guess so.
Because that's not his real name, I don't think.
I legitimately thought so. No, his name is
That's not such a bad thing to think, I guess.
Seeing how that's like his name, it'd be like Ronald Reagan. It's just like a common like nomenclature from the 1800s.
Yeah, well, you think like there's lots of like expressways and stuff that are named after people. Basically, what I'm saying is the Ronald Reagan Expressway sounds like a real thing. So why wouldn't you think that Chevy Chase, Maryland, could be named after Chevy Chase?
What's my thought?
I've also never been there, so I don't know. It could be like a little rinky-dink place.
It is.
There could be like little like
Geico headquarters is there.
Professor Snape, Iowa. You know, that actually wasn't named after the character from Harry Potter.
It's just something.
Yeah, just a coincidence.
It actually is Professor's Nape, Iowa.
That's the original. It was because the way that the town sat between the hills reminded someone of a professor's nape.
Right.
The year 2099. The Earth destroyed. Humanity's last great hope lies on the dark side of the moon, huddled in an abandoned mining colony, sending signals back through time to chronicle mankind's greatest creations and save the planet once and for all. The game's still weird. The storyline more convoluted than ever. The boys still tugging.
You are now listening to Joystick Tuggers.
I like the idea of Blaze Ya Dead Homie because to me it's, is he saying Blaze Ya Dead Homie like I've killed you? Mm-hmm. Or is he saying it's me Blaze Ya Dead Homie and he's a ghost?
I thought it was one of those two things.
Because I take it as him being like a ghost rapper because I like it if he's like cosplaying as a ghost or like role playing as a ghost rapper.
I like that. That's actually what it's supposed to be. But what I think of it as is he is like, hey, you know your dead homie? Take their ashes, roll them up in a blunt, and blaze your dead homie.
Oh, that's a different twist on
That's
it.
what I always thought.
That'd be pretty cool too, though. But I don't think that's as cool as him being a ghost. Like, okay, so imagine there was a ghost named Blaze. Already pretty cool. Already worthy of drawing on your Trapper Keeper.
A ghost named Blaze?
Yeah, a ghost named Blaze. Then imagine that ghost was, for one thing, your homie. Immediately cooler. And he was a rapper who wore like cool, weird goth
Hatchet Man clothes.
Like clown cowboy paint.
Yep. Cow cowboy paint?
Cown Cowboy. Mm-hmm. I'll show you my Cowboy if you show me yours.
I usually charge for that.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's some good weed.
Mm-hmm. Oh boy.
It's another weekend. Another week has gone by, and with it, we've played more video games.
That's true.
That contain art. There's an argument to be made on whether they are art.
Theoretically, they contain art.
Roger Ebert said video games are art, more like video games are fart. And after these two games we've played today, I'm inclined to agree. We start with a game called Spy Muppets.
Right.
License to Croak. Which is a great name because it immediately makes you think Spy Kids? Nope.
Spy Muppets.
It's supposed to be a James Bond parody. Well, wait, what about James Pond?
Isn't that already one of those?
Isn't that already a thing? What about Gex 64, Enter the Gecko?
That's also... Well, it's also a thing. That's almost exactly the same thing.
Oh, well, no, what if we did that with Kermit instead, so it was like a Muppet thing? Okay.
Way different.
Well, why is it called Spy Muppets? That's not very good. Why wouldn't you call it James Frog?
Spy Toads.
Or just James Frog?
Spy Frogs.
Or The Spy Who Frogged Me.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's the Austin Powers Muppet parody. Mm-hmm. But then a license to croak, not even a license to kill. It's a whole thing. There's a lot to get into. Trust me, we will. Second on the list.
Right.
This episode. Mm-hmm. This is a theme. We were trying to go for a theme here.
Very loose.
This theme, March of the Amphibians.
Mm-hmm.
Our first amphibian.
Show me how you tie that one together.
Firstly, it's March. Second, an amphibian, frog.
Mm-hmm.
Second,
uh-huh.
Santa Claus Saves the Earth.
Okay.
For Game Boy Advance.
That makes sense.
In that, one amphibian, which is a fairy. Fairies are amphibians. Captures.
So does amphibian mean that it lives on both? Okay, so amphibian means, does it mean that it can live in both water and on land, or does it mean that they can live in both land? Does it have to be like a combination of land, water, sky? Like, can they be like, I only live in the sky and in the water, like a flying fish? Are they amphibians? Or like things like a bird. Is a bird an amphibian? Because it's like, I live on land and in the air.
I don't know what you would call something that lives in the sky. I'm allergic to the question. I don't know what you would call something that lives only in the sky and in the water, but I'm pretty sure an amphibian is any animal that has a human hand up its butt. So Kermit would be included. Also, the fairy would be included.
Okay.
And the fairy kidnaps Santa Claus, keeps him in magical land, and, just doesn't want Christmas to be had. Now, normally fairies are good. This fairy is bad. You would think they would have gone with a witch or something, but like we said, the art is a little bit questionable in this week's archive. But what you gonna do?
I think we're going to talk about these games.
Oh, okay. That is what we do. Never mind. Our first game today, as previously stated, is the poorly named, really poorly conceived, poorly executed, and poorly played on our part.
All the above.
Spy Muppets, License to Croak. This game was developed by, let me see, because I want to make sure this goes down in history.
It's Vicarious Visions, I already know.
Oh, it was.
How could I forget?
Published by TDK.
Right.
Developed by Vicarious Visions.
TDK...
Great developer.
If I remember right, TDK is the... TDK makes audio equipment, I want to say.
They make CD... didn't they make blank CDs?
Yeah, blank tapes and things like that. I'm almost 100% sure. I don't know. I mean, I didn't know that they made games. They apparently do.
Maybe they stopped making games.
Yeah, I don't know. It's really weird. I mean, Vicarious Visions obviously is a storied developer, I would say. Well-known developer.
Yeah.
I mean, right now rolling in dough because, I mean, they're part of Skylanders, apparently. But at the time, humble beginnings, or humble, I'm assuming, beginnings.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely used to be like, back around this time, which it's worth noting, this game came out on PC, but we played this game on the Game Boy Advance. So the Game Boy Advance was like kind of the heyday of the time of like very crappy, just like this, like where the Game Boys were so popular, there was just like, it kind of reached its peak with the DS, but it was like where there were just mountains and mountains of garbage.
So you would say
sitting around everywhere. Like
I
this
would
would
go
be
as
like
far to say-
bargain bin.
I would
It's not
go-
even bargain bin. This is like you go to a CVS and next to the register they're like, we're selling a game because Game Boys.
hey, kids like Rocket Power.
And this would be the game.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Or it's like you go to a place that's not normally known for selling games. Yeah, like a grocery store, and it's like, hey, kids like video games, 2-pack, $25, and it's like this game and another game. You're like, these games aren't even worth a tenth of that price for the two of them. So much less.
And it would be like Spy Muppets, and then it would be like Muppet Shades of Grey would be like the other one.
That's a good one, and that's
or something.
That's not released in stores. That's on my fan fiction ROM site.
That one's just about Miss Piggy and Kermit
And Gonzo.
getting into
and Gonzo,
exploring themselves.
Only one part of Gonzo.
That nose, girl.
Speaking of Gonzo, Gonzo is in this game. Miss Piggy's in this game.
Yes, this Muppets game, I would say, where this falls into the canon is, this is kind of one of the Muppets properties that treats them like a cast of actors, where they're just playing different roles. Kermit doesn't play Kermit, he plays Agent Frog.
This
He
isn't
is
canon
dealing
because
with-
this is not Kermit the Frog. This is Kermit the Frog playing a character. It's not canonical in the Muppetverse.
Yes, I mean, like, this
Muppetverse.
this is not him.
Muppetverse?
This is not Kermit as a secret agent. This is Kermit playing a secret agent character.
Playing Mr. Frog.
Much in the way that Super Mario Brothers 3 is all cast upon a stage from the opening menu.
So it's not canonical.
This is just pretty much crappy from the get-go.
From the get-go.
From the frog-go. So Kermit, there's the eagle, Eddie the Eagle. No, that's
Sam.
That's the Eddie
Sam
the
Eagle.
Eagle is the NRA mascot from the 90s.
That's right. His name is Sam Eagle, not to be confused with Smeagol.
Smeagol, the previous keeper of the ring.
Right. Of the... I can't think of a joke. I was gonna think of a joke. Of the Onion Ring?
Yes.
I don't know where that would fit in.
Master of the but so it's called Lord of the Onion Ring. Very good joke.
Lord of the Strings.
Very good joke. It was so Sam Eagle plays Agent Patriot, which was like they didn't even try to come up with a good name. He's basically supposed to be M from James Bond,
But American.
Why didn't they just name him like E
Or S.
or anything
Or M.
or anything except for Agent Patriot, which is the most generic. It sounds like that sounds like the name of like a filler thing that like a politician would have for their stump. Like in a speech, in a stump speech, they'd be like, talk about, it'd say like, okay, now for the next 10 minutes, add filler about Agent Patriot and his accomplishments. And then they accidentally leave it in there. So instead of when he's supposed to say like, Colonel Andrews, he says like, an Agent Patriot here.
Agent Patriot is actually the Patriot that they named the Patriot Act after.
Oh.
Because of Sam Eagle's performance in this game. Because he
They
was
decided
acting.
it was so terrifying and such a force for terror that they needed to invade everyone's privacy on a grand scale.
Right. And on a tangent, not really a tangent, but on a side-ish note, talking about people like, okay, they should have like named him like E or S or something like that. Bunsen and Beaker are in this. I'm assuming they're supposed to be like Q, and they are called B and B. So they actually did do that for those characters.
They did for those. But
They also named them Bed and Breakfast.
They
Bed
didn't
and Breakfast.
for the other, which is very strange. It's also worth noting that Beaker, and Bunsen are in this, never actually give you any gadgets. In fact, you defeat the different villains, take a gadget from them, and you give B and B the gadgets.
Well, yeah, that's true.
They act like they're supposed to, but you even have to fix your own car before you go out for a mission.
At one point, Kermit turns to them and says, I'm paraphrasing here, but part of this is true. He goes, I don't know how to fix this car. What am I? A mechanica?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
No,
not
he
a
says,
mechanic.
I'm not a mechanica.
Oh, I'm not a mechanica.
I'm the world's wettest agent.
That's right. A mechanica. Everyone knows mechanicas work on cars.
I don't really need to. I don't really know why he feels the need to tell everyone about his downstairs business. Plus, don't frogs have like cloacas anyway? That's just nasty.
I mean,
I don't really think about him having a wet cloaca while he's like on the job.
All I know is you got to lube a cloaca. Trust me.
I know one thing: you gotta lube a cloaca as much as anything else.
Oh boy.
Frog sex. That's what we're talking about here, people.
I mean, to be fair, this is what the game is really about, because he's got to save Miss Piggy.
Piggy galore.
Piggy galore. Yeah, that's right. You know why. And she had...
Which, do you ever think that's weird? Like, this is not alone in the, like, co-opting James Bond canon for kids things. And in almost every single one of those, they have some pussy galore variant.
Also, not to mention
kind of strikes me as like, that's kind of a sleazy name, right? Like, why are they varianting that?
I want to air a grievance right here, right now. This is the forum.
All James Bond sucks?
All James Bond
Is
sucks.
that the grievance? Because I'm with you 100%.
The best James Bond movie is Austin Powers. And that's a grievance.
That's true.
It's 100% the best. James Bond sucks. And I don't know why people go see them. People go see them and they're just like, oh.
I assume it's the same kind of person that would have a man cave.
It's probably the same person that has a man cave. And it's probably...
And like the same person who like really is like, me and the boys are going to go get brats and we're going to put our little beer into a little cushion for our hand. And we're going to sit here.
What is that?
A beer cushion.
Oh, a beer cushion.
You know, like when you put like a small, like bedazzled pillow on your hand and you set your beer atop it?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and you're like, we're gonna go here and watch this. Haha, look at them. He's a cool man. I want to be a cool man. I'll have sex with the lady. I could
just
do
like
it.
James Bond. James Bond had sex with a lady once in every single movie he's been in.
He had sex with like 2 ladies per movie. I've done 2 ladies in my life. Haha.
It's like my life's a James Bond movie.
It's like I'm living in a James Bond movie, but only the first movie so far.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, the only
I have no idea who sees them. They suck.
They suck, but they make money. They make marginal money. They don't make a lot of money. I don't think they
well,
always,
I think
like,
it's kind of like dying.
They always like open first in the box office. They always come out when nothing else is out. And then like 2 weeks later, they're like, I don't know. They're like I don't know. We kind of took it out of the theater. Oh, you guys want to go see the new Spectre? Oh, it's out of theaters already? When did it come out? Oh, a week and a half ago? Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, they're just like, everyone who came was going to see it. They all got bratwursts and nachos.
We've yet to get any moon mail. I'm hoping that our first moon mail comes from somebody who is like the biggest James Bond agent, and they're just pissed.
Agent?
Yes.
James Bond agent?
Yes!
I like the idea that other fans are agents.
Exactly. Yes. We call ourselves MI7 because we're one up on the James Bond franchise.
It's fine for what it is, but what it is something that should have like died out in the 60s.
It's a travesty.
Like, it's not very cool. It's not very fun. They're just kind of boring.
Actually, I take it back. Do you know what the best James Bond movie is? It's Spy Hard.
I was going to say the best James Bond movies are all the Mission Impossible movies, actually.
That's true.
Because those movies are good. They're like good versions.
The worst Mission Impossible movie is better than the best James Bond movie.
Yeah. Except for like the part where he has the little helicopter that he hides in a briefcase in like one of the old ones, like the old Goldfinger. He's like flying in like a little helicopter.
I like the name Moonraker. I think that's a cool name for a movie.
It's a cool name. It's a cool laser. But unfortunately, they don't do much with it.
They don't rake.
Other than he like has sex with the lady on the moon.
I mean, we've done that before.
Everyone's done that. Everyone alive has now done that. Because the only people alive are non-virgin, heterosexual male humans.
Moon dwellers.
Moon dwellers.
So, yeah, speaking of... I would go as far to say, this game is better than a few James Bond movies.
I would honestly rather play this game because we beat it.
It's short.
We played the entirety. I would play through this entire game. It takes about a half hour to 45 minutes, I would say.
Well, let's put it this way. We skipped through most of the dialogue.
that.
We skipped through most of the dialogue, and we clicked on a long play online, and somebody who did not skip any of the dialogue, it was only 35 minutes.
Yes.
So
I would say this takes about 20 to 35 minutes to beat. It's very easy.
definitely worth your money.
I mean, you can set it to easy, medium, or hard. I think it's probably going to be easy no matter what.
You?
Yeah, I picked easy.
Oh.
And then, so I would rather play through this game in its entirety than watch a James Bond movie.
That's the easiest would you rather question ever. Would you rather play this game?
Play through the entirety of Spy Muppets License to Croak or watch any James Bond film.
Watch a... Would you play through this game for 35 minutes, or would you rather watch 35 minutes, the best 35 minutes of any James Bond film? I would probably still play this game.
Yeah, I would still play this game. And that's not to speak to the quality of this game. This game is terrible. As we said, this game is like dumpster garbage poop, and all the people at Vicarious Visions who worked on it.
This is a game that you go to GameStop now, and they still have in the case for some reason.
Yeah, but it's like behind the glass with the old Game Boy Advance games, and it's like in a box, and they have it for like $40.
Yep. Oh,
because they're hoping that someone's going to come in there and be like, "Oh my god, License to Croak! Oh my god, I played that when I was a kid. I love License to Croak."
You would find this. I guarantee you would find this game for $8 right now at a half price books.
Yes,
that's exactly what it reminds me of.
Spy Muppets License to Poke.
That's a better one.
That was a different variant game.
Yes,
that was adults only.
Oh, we also forgot to mention. Speaking of poking, it's coming around. Don't worry. The third boss in this game, because there's Piggy Galore, there's Dr. Nose, which is Gonzo.
Which not a good name either. Not a good name variant.
No. Well,
Dr.
To be fair,
Prawn?
I mean, it makes sense because there is a character in James Bond called Dr. No.
Oh, okay. That's the play. That's what it's the play.
Which is the basis of Dr. Evil. So
okay.
Dr. Nose makes sense.
Okay, I'm with you. And his plot is to turn the world into an egg.
Yes.
Newsflash, it already is an egg for a huge sea tortoise that we're all riding on the back of. Dum dum.
That's right. And it's I mean, to be fair, I mean,
that's my dream since the Earth's been destroyed.
I was gonna say, yeah, it's cracked. It's cracked in the, like when you crack an egg and it has those little like white, like slivery things in it. They're like, ooh, what are those? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, like the little like in the egg white when it's still clear. They're like the little actual white parts. Yeah,
that's Detroit. The part that no one likes of the egg.
Until it's been fully cooked.
The most disgusting, forgotten part about the egg. But there's also King Prawn. Yes.
It's not King
Prawn?
No, it's Dr. Prawn.
No, I think it's King Prawn.
No, it's Dr. Prawn.
Master Prong? Master Prawn? Master Prong?
It wasn't Master.
Look it up.
King
Prawn.
Okay.
Why would they have two doctors?
I don't know. Why would they have a King Prawn?
Because it's a James Bond spoof.
Look, don't talk about King Prawn. He's dumb.
Uh-huh.
The real point of this is that you fight all three of them.
He's not dumb. He's the coolest one.
He is the coolest one. You fight all three of them, though, and then at the end you fight Statler and Waldorf. Spoiler alert.
In a robot. They're in a robot.
They're in a robot. They take the components from all the other villains you've taken, and they fight you. You throw a bunch of bricks at them until they explode, and that's it. And then Miss Piggy's like, hey, I know that I was a villain, and I know that we were ex-lovers, but what if we became not ex-lovers? And then they ride a Sea-Doo off into the sunset to have, like, salty water time.
No, she's lost her mind, and, like, she was, like, brainwashed. And then she comes back, and he goes, I'm gonna do my Kermit the Frog impression. Piggy, what do you remember? That's a good one, right?
It's not bad.
It's like he's in the room with us. And she's like, oh, Kermie.
That's actually better than the Kermit.
What did she say? She's like, I remember that you're the best partner an agent could ever ask for. That's completely not it at all.
And he goes, whoa, I'm definitely the wettest agent now. And he goes, boom.
And then they make sweet love.
Bacon frog leg. Bacon frog leg.
He actually says something that's even sadder, and it makes him sound like, it actually sounds like the exact opposite of that, which he goes, I was afraid that's the part you would remember. AKA forever friend zoned. Perma friend zoned.
I was afraid you didn't want to. You don't remember the part about me being the wettest agent.
That's right. the wettest secret agent. Also, doesn't sound like you're that secret if you're that wet. Because I can imagine,
if you're known as being the wettest agent,
I can imagine
you aren't a very good secret agent.
I can imagine some secret agents that are like, I just got out of a pool. And they're like just dripping and soaking. He's wetter than all them.
Well, see, that's the thing. James Bond would come out of a pool. You'd think, oh, yeah, he's dripping wet. He goes, zip. It's actually a wetsuit tuxedo underneath, fully dry.
Right.
Kermie comes out of the pool. It's just actually a wet tux.
Stinking. Just like
stinking,
gross.
like ripe cloaca.
He has algae growing on him.
He's got like a bunch of like the egg sac on his back with all his babies in it.
That's right. He's got the what do they call the things that stick to the bottom of whales?
Bottom feeders.
Yes, he's got. Well, the feeding you're talking about.
That's another
cloaca feeders.
It's another great movie.
Bottom feeders.
Yeah, volume 14.
Oh yeah,
is my favorite.
I remember I had that on VHS back in the day. I'm trying to think though. I think we've really covered all the bases on this game. It's bad, but it's better than James Bond movie.
The last thing I want people to think of with this is I want them to go to whatever device they have nearby, and I want them to type in Kermit T Frog, enter, zoom in on his eyes, go, what the heck are the eyeballs? Why are they a circle with a line? Why do they like kind of concave in? What is the deal with them? Look at them, just be horrified by them. Imagine that they were like in a goat who was screaming at you, and then
he has goat eyes.
Just put him away.
I mean, think about a frog. He has frog eyes.
I've never wanted to look into a frog's eyes. I don't want to see a puppet version of frog eyes. They should he needs to just keep sunglasses or something on, which he does wear in the game. So I guess that's just proof that this is the best Muppet property.
Let's go!
Santa Claus saves the earth. He's here to kill all your incestuous baby guards who have wooden clubs, who have pistols, who have huge-nosed birds that attack from the sky. Santa Claus saves the earth, fills it with lots of mirth. Santa Claus has sex with your sister, has a child, puts her in the barn, kills the baby, sex with the baby.
Peace out.
Incestuous children guards.
I heard about Santa. I heard that.
So this is a Game Boy Advance game by Tele Games.
I would say that it is a Game Boy Advance game, but it is by no means a Game Boy Advanced game.
This game takes all of the allure of Muppets, Spy Muppets, licensed to Croak, and says, what if we made a game that quality, but we removed any recognizable license from it?
Well, I mean...
But went with a kind of like public domain holiday cultural figure.
Is Santa public domain?
Yes, he's like a cultural figure. It's like you could have a game. You can have the president in a game because he's so well known that he can't copyright his own image.
Why haven't I heard of him before?
Well, that's probably because of the war on Christmas that the media has been propagating against all of us religious people.
All of us religious people. Okay.
Yes, as a lover of,
as a worshiper of Santa,
Jesus Christ, and a worshiper of the Red Man, Santa Nicholas.
I know I love Red Man and Method Man.
Yes, well, the Method Man, he has Counter Christmas that's 6 months after December 25th. But Red Man that's his day, is on the 25th.
Like the 4th of July?
Yes, the 4th of July is Method Man's Day. That's when we all listen to the Method Man discography. But on December 25th, we listen to Redman's discography and pass the bowl around.
Watch How High.
Of course.
Okay.
All of the classics. We don't watch it because typically we don't have like the power to run the equipment, so we read the novelization of How High.
Okay.
Which was written at a 6th grade reading level, which is good because that's pretty much college age for us.
Oh yeah, I mean,
in Moon English.
It's weird. I've never seen a book that's over 40 pages long.
Frankly, to be honest, I've never seen a book.
Well, I've never seen
unless you count those ones that are like that really thick cardboard for like babies to gnaw on. I've seen those.
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about.
They're like 4 pages.
Like Pat the Bunny.
Yeah, but it'll just say like Pat, and you turn it and it says duh, and then you stop reading it and you're just chewing on it.
And you're like, and then it has like another word, but I don't recognize it. But I heard it's called Pat the Bunny. I don't know this 3rd word.
Yeah, but you just normally like, I mean, they make good they're really just good to chew on, mostly. You can like suck the sort of treated paper juice out of them, and they're good.
I mean, I love carcinogens, so.
We love them. This is known to all listeners.
All viewers.
All viewers.
So
Jared, tell us about this game.
Oh, I love talking about this game. This is a game.
Excuse my noise. I'm eating some moon drops.
Oh, I think I'll
for
have
my
one of those
throat.
too. I don't need one, but I think I'll have one.
I have the moon flu.
We call that.
I had the moon flu.
Call that the moon.
Now I just have the dust vapors. They're still caught in my throat.
You blow thick clouds with those dust vapors.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. What's your rig?
It's just my natural born throat.
Whoa. What's the ampere on that? So this game, oh boy, this game is a game. Well,
So the setup is simple. The setup is like a classic tale. This fairy.
Santa loves Christmas. Santa is Christmas. Some would say
Santa's just doing his Christmas thing.
He's at least fathered Christmas.
He's packing up his bags with presents full of joy for the children. He's saying, I'm taking these presents to all the kids of the earth.
He has thick, bulging sacks.
And then this fairy Nilma.
I said Namel. Namek.
Enamel. Fairy Enamel. The tooth fairy. Wait, is it Namel?
It is.
Fairy Enamel?
That's it.
All right, so the plot thickens here. This could be the Tooth Fairy. I did not think of this. Says, I hate this. I hate all the children getting presents.
Tooth Fairy doesn't give gifts, just money. Do you know who else gives money? The government.
Leprechauns.
Well, the government. And governments suck.
The government does. In times of, like, surplus.
Well, yes. They just hand out money.
Typically, they take money.
Right. Oh, yeah.
What do you think the Tooth Fairy does with all his teeth? Makes like a bone chandelier?
Well, a bone chandelier. I was gonna say makes a dress or makes like a headdress and sends it to Kesha. That's not the first time she's had one of those.
No. She made the headdress.
Okay, that's
she made a bra of teeth.
Oh, bra
from her fans.
Okay, that's right. So
the headdress came from the Tooth Fairy.
I was like, I'm not misremembering. I was like, that would seem really weird if I was just okay. So I'm not
slammed down on Kesha.
I'm not completely off base there.
No, yes, she did do that.
I know what the Tooth Fairy does. The Tooth Fairy takes the teeth, travels back in time. Well, first of all, the Tooth Fairy takes all the teeth and she puts it in because obviously, it's the Rock, Dwayne Johnson, but it's a she because he was the Tooth Fairy. Okay, so he takes the teeth. She takes it takes the teeth. The Rock takes the teeth.
Yes,
puts it in.
The Rock's preferred gender pronoun is the Rock.
Yes, everyone knows this. The Rock puts it in the Rock's time machine, and it goes back to prehistoric times. Prehistoric times.
Prehistoric times. Before what we would recognize as before history.
Big Nose. BBN.
BBN.
BBC is something else. And
BBN probably is too.
Yes, well, that's true. Goes back in time, takes the teeth, compresses them, into dinosaur bones. What we think are dinosaur bones were actually put there by the Tooth Fairy, a.k.a. the devil, to trick us.
See,
that's where teeth come from.
Was a Tooth Fairy or a serial killer? I would take all the teeth I collected, put them in a rock tumbler to like get them down to like where they look like pearls. They look like polished white, beautiful balls.
Someone's
and I would
pearly
make
whites.
necklaces.
Okay.
And I would like sell them to women and be like, look at my pearl necklace, gift for you. And then they would wear them in public, and that would get my rocks off.
Okay. There's a lot going on there. There's a lot to take in. That's why they're always finding new dinosaur bones, because they're like, oh god, we found a new dinosaur, and it's like, it's because more children had teeth fall out.
Yeah, it's like, what does it look like? A tooth, you dumb idiot scientist.
Yeah, that's right. Wake up, sheeple. Read between the bones.
Yeah, look, next time a doctor tells you about a new dinosaur, just look at it and go, it's probably a huge tooth, you idiot.
Yeah, take some fluoride. You know, we love fluoride. So take it and just spread it on there. And if it goes, oh, I'm clean now. Obviously, it's a tooth.
Yeah.
So that's why they put fluoride in the drinking supply. So you can...
So that you can just spill water onto the fossils to test them.
Well, so you can spill water, and so it gets on your teeth. So when your teeth fall out when you're a kid and they go back in time, they're already pre-treated with fluoride, so the fluoride test doesn't work anymore.
Oh. It's forward thinking.
Or backwards thinking.
It's forward thinking while being backwards thinking,
right.
But I like it.
BBN.
BBN, yes.
So that's the basic gist of this game.
Yeah, so the basic gist of this game is that this fairy doesn't like it. The Tooth Fairy. She goes, I don't like all these kids getting gifts. There's one thing I'm going to do here. I'm going to take Santa. I'm going to take him out of the real world, which in this case, the real world is there's a North Pole, the Earth still exists. He's giving gifts to all the children of the Earth.
Do you think Santa watches the real world or road rules? Do you think
probably? He has so much of the year off.
Does he?
Of course he does.
I always thought he worked on those other 364 days.
I mean, he probably says he does. He probably claims that he does by his taxes, but he probably also works at like the Gap during the summer.
That's true. To be fair, when's the last time you've ever gotten something handmade by Santa on Christmas? You haven't. It's always like something like, oh, cool, I love Game Boy. He just went to the store and bought it.
Yeah. He probably he probably didn't even go to the store. He probably got like a wholesale deal on it.
He didn't make Game Boy. Yeah, he just bought a pallet of them. He's
yeah,
like,
got
Game Boys.
Like a pallet for like 10% under cost because he's got some great deal with Nintendo, or someone was just happy to finally be working with the St. Nicholas that he just can throw his celebrity around. I used to joke.
I used to think Santa made those LCD solitaire games.
Yeah, no.
And then I saw one at Walmart and I was like, $4.95?
He does.
Santa?
Last time was like when the Great Depression, when someone was like, Santa, all I want is a boot for us to boil and drink the broth. Then they probably thought, oh, that was handmade from Santa. Because he just put his boot in a pot and gave it to him.
Those uppity Depression kids.
Yeah.
Sickening.
Maybe then he could have... He was like young enough to like move himself around, but...
Yeah.
You know, these days he's way too old. I mean, these days he's dead. He died with everybody else on Earth. Good riddance.
That's true. Well, I mean, I always thought he was a celestial being, but I guess he actually really did live in the North Pole. So, joke's on us, I guess, right?
I mean, there's been no Christmas. We've received no gifts. Certainly not handmade ones. And I have actually asked for a boot that I could boil for broth, and that's not showed up either. So, I don't think it's very likely that he's coming back anytime soon. And maybe this is why. The fairy traps him in the fairy dimension. Magic Land is what it's called.
I mean, we never beat the game, so I mean, honestly, we might be the problem here. I'm just thinking.
Oh, you're saying this could be like a kind of like an 80s movie situation of like, oh, you gotta beat the game to save Christmas.
Right. If Santa dies in the game, he dies in real life.
Oh my gosh. Game over, starring Frankie Muniz and St. Nicholas.
And Tim Allen.
Tim Allen wasn't in that movie, was he?
No, he was in this. He was the Santa Claus.
He was the Santa Claus.
Sorry, continue. I was just contemplating this.
So, Santa gets sent to Magic Land, and that's where the game picks up. From there, it's just a really poor side-scrolling platformer where you smash inbred-looking, like, birth defect-ridden cavemen guards and, like, double-headed bikers with guns. And you hit them, with axes and stuff, and you just hit them with your bag of toys until they crumple into pieces.
Right.
And
You have like this.
Other than that, it looks like you're inside of like a pile of fish sticks. And
there's these,
like vault doors you open to collect battery packs. It's nonsense.
There are vault doors. There's also these things that are flying heads, like with like little like wings on it, but the heads look like handsome Squidward. So, like they look like handsome Squidward.
That's accurate.
Not Squilliam, but actually like handsome Squidward.
Yeah,
like hot Squidward. Pre-order at GameStop and you get hot Squidward.
Hot Squidward, yeah.
So
the latest THQ game.
Oh man, THQ.
SpongeBob's Hot Adventures.
You guys don't know this, but in 2099, THQ's back.
Yeah, the toy headquarters.
They make every game now.
They're where I go to get toys.
They're literally
They're also the headquarters of the toy army.
Yes, and Robin Williams is back, but he doesn't want the toys to fight in the toy army.
No, it's kind of like a corporate issue they're going through.
And his sister's a toy.
And his sister is really weird because she's Joan
Cusack. She's Joan
Joan
Cuddlesack.
Cusack's like kind of weird. Like you don't really know. You're like, there's something wrong with her. She's Joan Cusack.
I don't know. I think she has like the thing where she always has like spit in her mouth when she talks, and it bothers me.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. Like you can't really make it out. You're like, she might be like special.
She needs like a drool, like
a drool catch.
She needs like
a human spit valve. Where she like pushes the thing on her neck and goes and just spews out all of her spit for the day.
That's what it's like.
Just goes all over the floor.
All you viewers at home are seeing where I'm pushing on my neck. It's like you viewers at home can do it too. You could just like push like where you would like look for your
push like where
you would find your pulse.
Yeah, like push where you would find like your largest cancerous tumor.
That's right. Push where you would like kill someone in the quickest way possible.
Yeah, if your fingers were your blades.
Just like all the spit comes out. It's way better.
But it comes out like her nose.
I don't know. Has Joan Cusack ever been a love interest in a movie?
Hopefully not. For our sake.
No, she kind of was in episode Rock of Love.
Rock of Love, yeah, School of Rock.
Rock of Ages.
She kind of was, but she was also kind of not.
School of Rock. Rock of Ages is another movie.
It is
Tom
a movie.
Cruise.
Rock of Love was a television show. It was
starring Joan Cusack.
It was a very successful television show.
Can't argue that. So speaking of Joan Cusack, this actually is tying in. Your main weapon in this game is Santa's sack. And
his Cusack.
That's right. And it has the smallest range, I would say, of it. Well, okay, so it has
possibly of any weapon ever.
It has two things working against it. It has a range of about a pixel.
Shortest of any video game weapon ever.
It is literally, he swings it and he pulls his head back while he swings it, and it occupies the same space that his head was in.
Yeah.
So it makes no sense. And also,
you gain no forward reach.
That's right. And by default, he goes backwards every time you do it. So like a guy's walking towards you, swing.
You swing, it doesn't reach him, then you walk backwards.
The first enemy you encountered in the game, you were like literally like 2 pixels away from him. He was walking towards you, and you literally were just trying to swing it, and you were walking back at the same pace that he was walking forward.
Yeah.
And you just fell off a cliff. You can also go forward and do it, which is just suicide. Because if you don't time it correctly, and he just happens to be in the middle of a swing, it doesn't do anything.
You just get hit, but it's not really hard. You can just kind of take a bunch of hits or step on spikes and stuff. It's just a real mess, honestly, all around.
We haven't mentioned how the game looks either.
No, the game looks like a baby's first 3D modeling class.
Right.
Where then they 3D modeled on a mid-90s computer, and then they downgraded it to run on a GBA.
Right.
So everything looks kind of like it's lumpy and made out of clay, but then really low pixel degraded photos of lumpy pieces of clay. So it's just terrible.
Yeah, it looks like somebody wanted to make. Oh gosh, I'm trying to think. There's a game, or there's like a cartoon or something I'm thinking of. It's not Wallace and Gromit, but it's something like Shaun the Sheep. It's not those, but it's something that's like that.
Chicken Run.
Yes, actually, that is what I'm thinking of. Not Rockadoodle, but Chicken Run.
No, not Rockadoodle. Don't even talk to me about Rockadoodle.
That was my nickname in high school.
That's my nickname right now.
Rockadoodle.
That and the wettest agent.
Rockadoodle, meet the wettest agent. So this game also did come out on PC. Oh, I forgot to mention this. Both of these games came out on PC.
PC and Game Boy Advance. What a strong lineup.
Both of these games were PC. And both of these games were Game Boy Advance.
And both of them sucked equally on both, it looked like.
Yeah.
Just with, like, slightly sharper graphics, so they didn't have to downgrade it as much. But other than that, I mean, the graphics themselves, the art design is still terrible.
What would you rather play if you had to play one of these games?
If I had to play one of these games or watch an equivalent amount of time of the best James Bond movie,
Okay.
I would rather play Spy Muppets License to Croak in its entirety than Santa Claus Saves the Earth.
Would you rather play Santa Claus Saves the Earth or watch the equivalent amount of time on Chicken Run?
Oh, I'd rather watch Chicken Run.
Oh boy.
If it was Rockin' Doodle, now I'd probably want to play Santa Claus Conquers the Earth. Chicken Run I remember as being pretty okay.
The main character's name in Rockadoodle is Chanticleer.
Why do you remember that?
Because I remember somebody screaming Chanticleer at one part of that.
Why is his name Chanticleer?
Isn't that the name of it? That's also a chicken, right? It's like a chicken king.
Is there a Chicken King I don't know about?
I don't know. I think it's what Chanticleer is.
Is it a Rat King?
Yeah, it's just a whole bunch of chickens get their butts tied together because they just have so much poop all over the place, and they become one...
In a factory farm.
Yes, and they become one sentient chicken.
Yes, it's like a chicken old god.
Yes, exactly.
A chicken Shub Niggurath. Yes, so horrifying chicken... I would take any of that over this game. I would definitely take Spy Muppet over this game. I would take some of the worst or best James Bonds over this game.
What about James Pond?
This is James Bond I would also play over this game.
Yeah.
There are very few things I would rather do than play Santa Claus Saves the Earth. So this is one time that I'm happy that the Earth didn't get saved. That's it, folks. The end of March of the Amphibians.
Saves the Earth.
We saw a lot of amphibians today.
Did
we saw Agent Frog.
Yeah, I saw him.
We saw Fairy Enamel.
Yeah.
The Tooth Fairy.
Is Santa an amphibian?
If he tries hard enough. If he believes.
Santa can come down my chimney anytime.
Whoa! Inappropriate. This show is
I love presents.
cassette taped to families. We microwave this directly to families into their homes.
We don't want them to know that Santa is fake.
We don't want them to think of you doing it up the butt with Santa.
I was just talking about delivering presents. That's fine too.
Yeah.
I'm not with either.
You want to deliver a sperm present. Directly to your Aunt News.
I guess.
You vile clown.
I guess. I mean, that's what I do.
This is just disgusting.
All right.
I'm over it. I'm going to take this tape, smear it in butter, wrap it in aluminum foil, and send it to the next day on the calendar of the past, Saturday.
You're making a lot of sense so far.
Okay? We used to put out episodes on Friday, and then we said, well, you know what? Sometimes life happens. And when does it happen? It happens on like a Wednesday through Thursday.
You know what they say? Life finds a way.
So life is going to find a way to get our episodes out on Saturdays instead.
That's right.
And we know we missed an episode. We don't need to hear about it in the Moon Mail. Please send us Moon Mail.
Well, to be fair, we missed an episode because my great-grandfather was getting married. I thought it sounded like Jared Stanley first. I was really excited for him. I was like, oh, he should get married because if he doesn't get married, then I'm never going to be born. So I should probably go there.
Because you have very puritanical views on having children.
So I wasn't there the first time, but for some reason I thought that it wouldn't happen if I wasn't there this time.
Makes sense.
what could possibly go wrong?
Yeah.
So I invented a time machine, one-time use time machine, went back in time, and I was like, oh, I should probably tell him, like, you know, obviously, like, save the Earth and stuff like that. So I went there, had a really good time. He got married. They broke the glass. They yelled "Opa" really loud.
Oh, they're Greek.
They circumcised him. You know, the things that they do at, like, traditional American weddings.
American Earth wedding.
American Earth weddings.
Pre-war wedding, yeah.
That's right. He kissed the father of the bride. Spent the night with him.
Did you tell him? Did you tell him about the Earth thing?
What Earth thing?
Did you tell him about, like, saving the Earth coming to an end, you living as a sort of worm, a mole man hybrid in a hole on the moon?
You know, I forgot all about that.
Well, there's always next wedding.
Oh, no, they banned all weddings after that one. Ooh. This is the last wedding.
It's really hard to get a time visa if it's not for a wedding.
Yeah, well, it's a one-time time. It's a one-time.
It was a one-time time visa?
One-time time visa.
Well, I guess then...
It's all right. I mean, it's the only shot we ever had, and
We've got these tapes going back, though, so hopefully he'll listen to one of those. So,
he said that nobody listens to him. So,
I mean, I think we know that, but we want to keep the illusion alive.
That's right.
So, save the Earth. Bye!
Bye.
We hope this transmission meets you, person of the past, in times of peace and plenty. As always, remember, pickles make the best gifts. Goodbye.
And just use out all of her spit for the day.